We have a special guest, you guys. So I'm super excited for you to hear from Tulin. She is a premier coach. But wait, before we even go there, let me just tell you, she's at 109 Success Club points for July, and she's recruited 46 coaches in July alone to her team. Okay. And like and if you guys listen to National Wake Up Call, which you should, you probably hear her name, like challenge packs, coaches, high recruiter, top this, top that, top this, top that. So I met Tulin in the Country Heat test group. We had to dance, and Tulin was like, I don't do country music. And I was like, me either. And we are changed ladies, I think. I think she'll tell you different now. So she's going to be sharing with you today about being authentic and just giving you guys tips. And I'm assuming if they ask any questions in the chat below, you don't mind. All right. I'm going to let you have the floor because I don't want to waste time. All right.
That's really dangerous, Lindsay.
I know. Your video last night.
Oh, I cannot. Oh, wait. I'm just going to turn red right now. You guys are going to watch me turn red. You guys, I make no apologies for who I am. I'm watching on a very passionate, colorful video. If it is not for you, it's okay. You don't have to follow. But if it's for you and it meant something to you, awesome. That's where I'm going to focus. But when she's like, I totally share this video. I'm like, Lindsay? Lindsay. I'm all good with that, but and you know what? And the thing is, just out of respect for her, in case she missed some of the colorful language. But the reality is, you guys, if that is where I am in my moment and in my passion, that is where I am. And there's nothing I do that is to appease the masses. And that's kind of what I'm going to teach you about today. So I'm not going to tell you do your videos like me. I'm not going to tell you any of those kinds of things. But I will tell you that, oh, you love my hair. Thank you. That this stuff works. This totally works. So let me first just start, because she's so freaking awesome, by edifying your amazing coach and how much I have learned from her in a short time. She is an icon in all of this. And so when we were like, hey, let's start a mastermind, I'm like, really? So I want you guys to know how amazing it is how you have someone like Lindsay on your side. And if you're not tapping into that and doing what she's asking you to do, you're missing out. You're totally missing out. So I was telling her this morning that I woke up, pissed off Tulin. And my coach, who's Jimmy Hayes Nelson, always says, pissed off Tulin, get stuff done. And what does that mean? So a couple of things. I am learning from Lindsay right now. I have an opportunity to be it's like 3 of us in this group, and we're like talking and chatting and sharing and learning and tweaking and freaking out, because it's always scary to kind of change your process. And so I am learning from her, she is learning from me, and we're trying to kind of figure out this process that works best for us. And we don't all have the exact same process, but we're willing to share our answers. And I think that's hugely, hugely, hugely important. And I think one of the most respectful things that you can do with somebody else's time is actually take it and apply it. And so the reason why I woke up really pissed off this morning is because, yes, I'm a high recruiter, but I am a 2-star diamond. 2-star. And it doesn't mean I've only had 2-star diamonds. I think I've had 4 overall. But you have to know that I am still learning and tweaking my process. That I don't say I've got it all figured out. I got it all figured out. I don't need to know that. I'm already doing that. I never shut down my ears and say that. I used to be that person. So now I never say I'm already doing that. And now I say, what can I learn from that? Why are they doing this and it's successful? And what can I do to learn from it? Because the second that I start saying, I already know that, I'm already doing that, I can call BS on myself. Truly, because I've just shut my ears to probably some of the most transformational information that I can ever receive. Also, when somebody shares their system with me, it's really, really important that I go and I apply it. And I trust the process. And that's been what's so amazing with Lindsay, is that she's done the same thing with me and I've done the same thing with her. And I'm like, okay, I got it. I'm listening to how Lindsay does things with you guys. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. It's amazing. And I go, she's doing with her coaches what I'm doing in fitness. And so now if we just do it, and you just see what I'm saying? Like, we just apply it. So that's why I woke up ticked off this morning. Not angry, just ticked off. Because I go, I got it. What can I do inside me right now? What actions can I do? I've sat and I brewed, I've analyzed and all these kinds of things, but what actions can I take right now to change it? What can I do to change it to get to where I need to go? And there's a difference in conversation. So the reason why I'm telling you all this stuff, you guys, is because there's going to be stuff I'm going to tell you that Lindsay's probably shared with you. Why? It works. It's duplicatable. And also for you to understand that just because I have high SC and high recruiting, I am still figuring out this business. And once I figure it out, guess what's going to happen? Something new I've got to learn, something new I've got to tweak, something that used to work that no longer does, that I have to be willing to adjust because I run a legitimate business. This is not a hobby. I have big goals, okay? So I've got a really tough component figured out, and now I'm going to work on the part that's tough for me. So my hard may not be your hard, but you just have to be willing to trust the system and apply. And so I'm only saying that to you because I really, really, really am edifying your coach right now because she's been so willing to share her answers with me. And oh my goodness, if you're a coach on her team, you all should be 15-star diamonds because I know because of Lindsay's willingness to share her answers with me that I will be and she will be in multi-time. And we'll buy our own trip to Italy. Anyways, you guys all getting that? Y'all hearing it? Okay, so here comes the embarrassing question. How many people listen to, even parts of it, listen to what Lindsay shared yesterday from my page? Show me comments or show of hands. I need to get an idea of who I'm talking to. I'm going to open up the comments so I can see me. All right, so let's be really real. How many of you, show of hands, were offended by some of my content? Anyone? I will not be mad at you. I will not judge you. Anyone offended by my content? I know somebody on here is offended by my content. Well, I guess then you wouldn't have been here, right? Of course not. Oh, I love you guys because it's Lindsay's tribe. Nobody's offended? Okay. No hands up. All right. Well, here's the deal. If any of you were offended, it wasn't for you anyways. It wasn't for you anyways. I wasn't talking to you. That's how I share my authentic self. That is legitimately how I do that. So let me ask you guys this. Did you guys see the Super Saturday video of my journey that aired at Super Saturday a year ago in April? It was about my broken homeless story. Anyone see that? Hands up, comment. Lindsay has. Anyone? No? Okay.
Lots of new guys are on here, so I'm not sure they were around. Some older, but a lot of new guys. Just
okay. We should probably share that with them so you guys can kind of see where I started. So I will give it to you in a nutshell. Get it? Nutshell. I started off in this business, broke, homeless, and over 350 pounds. I don't know where I landed because my scale didn't go any higher. I came into this raging PCOS, insulin resistance that moved into type 2 diabetes, chronic fatigue, depression, debilitating migraines. The list is long, okay? And that video talks a lot about this, and it really helps kind of just understand where I'm starting from. When I started this business, thank you, baby. When I started this business, I was anti-coaching, anti-Shakeology, and I had a really bad attitude because I was so angry at the world and our situation. So when coaches reached out to me in regards to the business, I was actually kind of mean. And if you brought up, hey, if you're looking for a motivational or weight loss group, reach out to me over here. I'm like, what makes you think I want to lose weight, right? All right. Because really, honestly, my focus was health gains. And so when we started this process, I actually started Insanity at Insanity at about 330 pounds because I had lost some and gained because I worked for a magazine that I helped take viral, and I put my work and everyone else ahead of me. And of course, I had to stop my fitness, right? I made them the reason. I'm sorry, them the excuse instead of making them the reason. And so when I came back into this, when I started gaining the weight back, I started with Insanity. It's what we had on the shelf. And I wasn't going to worry about what I ate. I certainly wasn't going to try that magic bag of powder, which I didn't. And we got Insanity from a garage sale. It's all in that video. And I was unable in this apartment that we moved into. And now understand, we had a beautiful life before. We didn't go broken homeless because we stunk at what we did. We had to get away from a business partner that threatened to kill 40 employees on Christmas Eve. And couldn't handle his own success, and we had to shut the business down. And in doing so, we lost everything. Very long story, but again, it goes into a little bit in that video that Beachbody did. Now, I can't share every aspect of my story. And I will tell you that I didn't share my story when I was going through it. I didn't. When I started with Insanity, I had no social media presence at all. I started a new personal page. I didn't have like my Coach Tulin page, didn't have a YouTube page. My IG maybe had like 100 people on it, but people not interested in this journey for sure. None of the rest of it existed at all. And I started a new personal page because my other personal page was attached to my previous position in the plus size world when I was a plus size model. And what I did was bad for plus size women. And I was discouraged from doing this. And I said, I need to do this for me because I cannot walk up half a New York City block. I'm going to die. And every time I walked up the 12 steps to my house, I would have to stop in between. And then when I got to the top, I would have every ounce of oxygen out of my lungs. My world would start to turn gray. I literally felt like death every time I reached the top of the landing. And I was so grateful this little apartment we were able to get into that had mice, was really, really old, but we were out of the hotel. Okay. During this time, by the way, and I'm jumping around, but I'm trying to peel back some of your guys' excuses and maybe why you can't do this business. My husband lost his ability to walk for 2 years. We had no health insurance. And due to his, it's a whole other breath, who lost the ability to walk due to the stress and because of his multiple sclerosis. He started P90X on his hands and knees, and I ate Chinese food in front of him. I was the unsupportive spouse, and I refused to utilize Shakeology. When I started in Insanity, I really only committed to 14 days of movement, and I had every intention to continue eating the way that I was. I had no intention of changing that because I think I was going to figure out a way to out-exercise a bad diet. That's just where I was. And, did I get there at my own hands? I did. I totally did. It was my way of dealing with things. All the weight that I put on, I shared my story. My story was on my body. Some people choose another way. Some people want to gain weight. Some people have weight to lose. Some people choose drugs and alcohol, et cetera, et cetera. I did numb myself with food. I was an anorexic, and I moved into a heavy emotional eater. Okay, so food has always been the enemy to some degree or another. When I committed to the 14 days, I did it on social media. And some people used to follow me, remember me when I was a model, and or knew me from high school. And it was very difficult to reveal myself in my current state. I did not come in with an abundance of confidence. I actually came in with no feeling at all, very numb. No happiness, no sadness, no anything. It was just, the less I felt, the easier life was, but it's not true. It's not true. It made life a lot harder. I committed to 14 days. If you guys are a personal friend on my Tulin Emre page, I just ask that you please don't comment or like this album because I want to keep it as pristine as possible. But you can actually see my first 14 days of my journey and how I changed from weight loss to health gains. Because I really thought my glory days are behind me. I really thought that I would be unable to lose any weight whatsoever. And I told people that, hey, I'm doing 14 days. Ask me how many people replied. It certainly wasn't the 1,400 plus people yesterday that commented on my dress. It was like maybe one or two, maybe a comment or two, maybe. But I did it for me. I had a place that I can go to check in every day and share. And I was frustrated in this process because I couldn't find other bodies like me at the time, actually more than 350 plus, so about a year before that. I couldn't find other bodies like me in motion. I was tired of constantly looking at the afters. I'm like, I'm so after this whole after mentality. What happens in between? What happens in between? Does somebody else's belly get in the way? I go to lift my knee and I'm literally crushing my windpipe, lifting my knee because my belly would be so far down my thighs and it would literally accordion up and put all the pressure up here, raising my blood pressure. These are real things. These are real things people deal with. Getting up and down the floor, not an option. I needed help to be able to get off the couch because I was unable to move my center of gravity forward. So I thought Insanity would be a perfect place for me to start. I didn't know what the next day was going to look like. I just knew I was in really bad cardiovascular health. And I remember somebody said, actually it was Deanne, she said to me, so what happens after day 14? And I was day 15, of course. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in. Okay, I did the 14 days and I'm feeling better. Didn't change the way I eat, and I eat really, really badly, or poorly, I should say. Foods that didn't nourish my body. And it was halfway through Insanity that I finally agreed to get Shakeology. Finally agreed after a year and a half. And my husband knew that dense nutrition make a difference in his body. So money was a problem. We didn't have an income. We sold whatever we have. Still don't have a wedding ring to this day. And I said, fine, we'll get it. How much is it? Or how many servings are in it? And he said 30. And I go, fine, we'll get 2 bags and we'll starve. I mean, I was as negative as you possibly could. At the very last second, I figured out that I'm going to be the one to sign up and he'll send it to the coach underneath me. Because what if there is something to this? No, it's not. But what if there is? No, it's not. I told Coach Jimmy Hayes Nelson's my coach, and he will say it. I interviewed him, and then I told him either we will get along famously or we'll clash terribly. Don't talk to me about your weight loss groups. Don't talk to me about your stupid coaching. Don't expect me to stay on the Shakeology. Blah, blah. Here are my rules. Like, how he dealt with that is beyond me. But the thing that Jimmy did is he didn't let my no or my tough exterior stop him from telling me about this opportunity. And I actually don't like the word opportunity. I'm like, let me tell you about this opportunity. But you guys know what I mean, right? What would happen if Jimmy didn't tell me about this opportunity and if he was worried about what I was going to think? We wouldn't have overcome being broke and homeless. We wouldn't be in the position that we are right now if I wasn't willing to take his hand at the time where he repeated reaching out to me about this again. And he made sure that I knew about this. It was my decision to say no. And believe me, I had no problem saying no because I was lashing out at people. But what if Jimmy was so worried about what I would think? Where would my life be today? Not here. Fast forward to May 26th, right before we start the test group. My husband nearly dies. Like minutes away from dying, sepsis, double infection, dying in front of me. And went in the hospital, sat on bags of ice for days and days and days. Our mindset was so hugely different because of Shakeology, because of Beachbody, because of the mindset, the personal development, because of the commitment to dense nutrition, because of the commitment to the workouts. I watched my husband in between convulsing and spiking fevers multiple times a day. When they finally brought him food to eat, peel off the bread on the food and make a lettuce wrap sandwich. He didn't watch television. He didn't look at his phone. He could do nothing but convulse and spike fevers. And we don't know if he's going to make it. We don't know what's next. We don't know if his MS is going to work. We don't know anything. And even in that moment, he made a lettuce wrap sandwich. Why? Because in his journey, wheat does not nourish him and doesn't serve him. And he knew to get through this, he needed to take that extra step. And it's so ingrained in us. And so it goes back to Beachbody. I don't think that my husband would have had the ability to pull through if we didn't put all those things into practice over the past few years. There were screw-ups, there were weight gains, there were plateaus, there were dramas and traumas. If we made a list of everything we go through in our life, we have every reason in the world to go, I can't do this today. My kids are driving me crazy. Life's really tough. My husband's in the hospital right now dying. And I'm going to stop taking care of me so I can take better care of him. That's a messed up way of thinking. I need to take better care of me so he can take care of him. And he knew he had to take whatever extra steps that he could take, what he had control of in his mind and his ability to make a choice in his food to move forward. Do you understand what Beachbody did for us? So now I'm going to ask you, who in here is worried about what other people think when you share your journey or approach the coaching opportunity in there? Who is worried about having those conversations? Who has a hard time sharing this journey? Hands or comments? Y'all got to engage or I'm going to think I feel like a monkey in the zoo. Who's having a hard time? Okay. Anyone else? No one else has a problem sharing their journey? And you have no problem talking? You have an amazing team, Lindsay. All right, let's get real, Lindsay. Unmute. Am I talking to...
Are you wanting me to unmute?
Yeah, I want you to more. Am I talking to a team full of people that are like sharing their raw, vulnerable journey on a daily basis, regardless of their size, and signing up coaches and SE points left and right? Because if that's the case, I'm going to change my combo.
I have a hard time continuing on when all I hear is no.
Okay.
A little bit, people say yes and they disappear on me. One says she used to, but not anymore. And here's a couple saying sometimes, me, you got a heart from Crystal. So yeah, and then there's some of them that are just being quiet.
Yeah, you all being quiet. You know what quiet means? Quiet means that you have the struggle and you just don't want to say it. Lindsay's not going to judge you. I'm not going to judge you. Nobody else in the room is going to judge you because we've both been where you are. Have you been there, Lindsay?
Shoot. I had to have a chat with you to be like, oh yeah, get out and talk about yourself. I mean, this is recent.
You guys, okay? 11-star diamond freaking elite 4 freaking times over here battles with the same thing. So there is nobody in this organization that didn't have that battle. But we're so concerned about what other people are going to think. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum for a second. Let's say you're fit, but I'm not fit enough. I'm not where I need to be. I need to have my abs popping some more if I go and share. If you care about what other people think of your posts, your fitness posts and sharing your journey, of what they're going to think about the coaching opportunity when you share that with them. If you're worried about what they think, then I'm going to have you just tweak your mindset. You guys ready? Right? You're worried they're going to think like these thoughts about you, these unpleasant negative thoughts. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to just literally just move like 1 degree, one direction. And I want you to think about those people. What would they think if it would make a difference in their lives? And I only want you to focus on those. That's it. I don't want you to focus on the whole pie. I want you to only worry about and think about those that this would make a difference for. Don't worry about everybody else who has an opinion. Trust me, everybody has an opinion about my business and how I run it too. Okay, and how I do my fitness and how I do this and how I do that. White noise, white noise. If you are worried about what other people think, then worry about the people that are so desperate for your message and where you are right now in your journey today. And by not sharing your journey, you are stopping somebody from being able to come out of being broken homeless, out of making a difference in their health and fitness, out of changing their mindset, out of stop being a prisoner in their own minds. Think about those people first. And everybody else doesn't matter. I am 265 pounds. I'm a plus size woman. I'm on a journey to fit. It has not been simple. I am not the traditional fitness person, but my journey affects those who need my message. No one else needs to apply. And that has no size. Just like I believe fit has no size. Am I at my goal yet? No. I share my raw journey. But I didn't share my broken homeless story when I was going through it. I told people, I can't wait to be back in Huntington Beach. What people didn't know is we were going back and we had nowhere to go. And we're just going someplace that was familiar, where I grew up. Sometimes you're not ready to share your journey in the moment while it's happening without it sounding like you're venting and desperate. But sometimes later you're willing to share it. But it's the lack of vulnerability and authenticity that really, really stops us. Is this helping you guys at all? Because I'm giving you kind of a behind the, like an under the hood. I can give you step-by-steps and you can do this and you can do that. But Lindsay's got that for you. Lindsay has a duplicatable system for you, and all you have to do is do it. You're going to get no's. It is natural. I was the biggest no you can get. I actually go for no's, and I thank God for no's because that person is not supposed to be in my life at this time. There's nothing that irks me more than I go, hey, do this and this and this, and this person goes, no, I tried that. It didn't work for me. No, it's not going to work. Quit qualifying your journey. Because if you had it all figured out, you wouldn't be asking me the questions, or you wouldn't be coming into my coaching groups or asking me my opinion on how I do my business. If it wasn't working for you, I'd be listening to the person it is working and applying it, and then tweak it and make it your own. So Lindsay can teach you all that duplicatable stuff, but I'm here to bust your excuses. That's what I'm here to do. Okay? I run into this all the time, and it's really easy to do. I actually don't pay attention to what other coaches do. First of all, I'm busy. I don't have time to hang out because I have my team or my coach or those that I'm coaching or my own social, my own journey, my family. I don't look at what other coaches are doing. Now, does that mean that I don't see it? No, of course. Am I inspired? Absolutely. But I never try to be someone other than who I am in my moment today. And that's what you run into in my lives. My lives are always where I am today. And I don't think about entertaining. I don't think, there are some lives I've done that I literally sound like I'm on death's door. I'm like so tired and monotone, blah, blah, blah. And if that's where I am, it's where I am, but I never vent. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always just authentically in where I am. So yesterday you guys caught a very passionate, filled, colorful live. But the reason why I put blinders on, it's really easy to have a comparison game. It's really easy. I'd rather be inspired and authentic than to feel like I need a bright, shiny thing and go do what they're doing and then covet what they have. They have what they have because they figured out these pieces in their business or their journey. I haven't yet. And this is what I figured out in my pieces in my journey. Here are my strengths. Here are things I can learn. But I will never, ever, ever, ever write a post that when you look at it, you know that was somebody else's words. Now let's just kind of talk about, this is not a political conversation or debate, but let's just talk a little bit of a moment right now, what's going on in the news right now about the comparison of the speeches. Do you know what that did? Forget the plagiarism part, whether, and again, I'm not here to one team or the other, right? Like a team, whatever. I don't care what team you're on. Go you. Just go vote. When you use somebody else's words and they are not your own, people know on a subliminal, subconscious level that that's not the way you speak and that's not the way you present because you're being inauthentic. People are always asking me what the secret sauce is, but what's your system? Which, I don't know, I'm still trying to figure out my systems. There are so many holes in my system. Lindsay's probably like, right? She's probably like, oh my gosh, but I'm going to listen to her because she's doing some parts that I want to do right? But I'm not on her page like digging through all her posts. Okay, I'm going to post like this and post like that. Inspiration's one thing, but if you're not authentically yourself, people will know. So if you were looking for content on a daily basis, I don't know what to share. I don't know. Excuses. Did you wake up today? Did you drink a cup of coffee or energize or get your workout done? Did you wake up happy? Did you wake up sad? Did you realize that you did something today a little differently than you would have handled it 2 years ago? Did your kids make you laugh? Did your husband make you mad? Were you able to do something that you didn't do before? You have so much freaking content on a daily basis, but we're too busy trying to find the post. That post is just going to drive an insane amount of people to my page. I posted 2 pictures of me in a dress, asking my followers which one. I was thinking a handful of comments, maybe some interaction. I got 1,400 comments on which dress yesterday. On a dress that wasn't lit well or posed well. I mean, my bra's half done inside because I can't have the strap showing the dress. I'm trying to see how it looks. I mean, bad lighting, the whole 9. That's where I was in that instant. You guys have content for days, as long as you're trying not to go for that magic post. I have not been able to, and I'm still trying to figure my stuff out. Don't get me wrong, it's possible. But I didn't build my social media in a day. My numbers are reflective right now of my followers, true. However, when I started, I got SC12, this anti-coach over here, in my first official month in the business by sharing my journey to a handful of people and still didn't have a like page and my social media. Oh, by the way, my social media page, first one was YouTube, and that was my video where I was going to quit. I'm now a verified YouTuber who also gets to shoot at YouTube Space LA. Also, the way this all came up is because I showed up on the Google Analytics report and YouTube reached out to me. Is it because of my millions of subscribers? Because my tribe is willing to watch what it is I have to share because they are me. I'm just a few minutes ahead of them. That's it. There is no magic sauce. There is no magic sequence. The Bulls dress the bomb. Thank you, Crystal. Just share you vulnerably, authentically, and what that feels like today, which will feel vastly different a year from now. But if you don't get up and work out every single day, how are you going to get better? If you don't get better at utilizing social media, I actually use it as personal therapy. People say, I can't be that raw and authentic. Are you kidding me? I was completely unable to for the first 39 years of my life. 39 years of my life, I was defined by everyone else, kicked when I was down. Yes, I was a model, okay? Did okay with that, proud of that. But I wasn't like overflowing with confidence. I was always worried about what other people thought, and I was tired of living in that prison. When I took on the attitude of the only person I'm with, mentors are different, right? Because mentors or somebody that you're like, hey, like when I talk to Lindsay, right? I am asking her, right? Like we're exchanging information. I am listening to her. She is not white noise to me. I'm listening to her because she is mentoring me at the moment. And hopefully I'm doing the same, right? Like we're sharing that information. A mentor relationship is different. But all the other excessive training, all the other what other people think of you, think of this. Excessive training is white noise unless you're living in the fundamentals. Unless you are working this business in the fundamentals on a daily basis, figuring out what's working, figuring out what's not, and tweaking it, and quit overdoing your process every Monday morning after you listen to the Monday morning wake-up call. Quit it. Stick to your process. Stick to what she's teaching you to duplicate. If we stop focusing on what other people think, here's a great way to do this. Would they be at your funeral? Would they be at your funeral? Would they hold your hair back if you had a puke? No, I mean, legit. Like, how serious is this person in your life? Are they paying your bills? My friends initially who saw how much I struggled, the ones who said this was bad for plus size women, and I mean, I helped build the plus size industry you see today. They saw how sick I was. They saw how little I can walk. But yet sharing my journey was bad for plus size women because I held up a mirror to them. By the way, one of them has made tremendous difference and I had absolutely nothing to do with the journey except for maybe inspiring the person that's made that comment to me. I don't need the win. I don't. My win is in my family. My win is making my why really, really big. My win is not going for high SC or high recruiting because I am authentically myself. I receive high SC and I receive high recruiting. I don't set a goal on a monthly basis. I'm going to go after these number of people. I don't. But because I'm so raw and authentically myself as me, if Cowboy Troy goes on Facebook and Cowboy Troy is going, and trust me, it's happened. I've actually seen my videos duplicated word for word. It's really funny. I tell people, stop sending me the videos. I don't want to see it. But Cowboy Troy all of a sudden decides to go online. He's going to be just like Coach Tulin. You will fail. You will fail. Because you weren't Cowboy Troy. Because I actually want to know more about Cowboy Troy because he has an orange umbrella and his name is Cowboy Troy. Like, I'm intrigued by that, right? Like, I'm curious. So, do you understand what I'm saying? That is interesting. Not Cowboy Troy trying to be Trey or Jimmy Hayes Nelson or Sagi. Like, if all of a sudden he took on Sagi's accent, that's how ridiculous it looks when we duplicate other people. Cowboy Troy needs to go and be Cowboy Troy, because who you attract, you will be just a few minutes ahead of and are the people who need your message, not the ones who are being critical. Not the ones who are being critical. And how you share today will change greatly in how you will share in the future. I grew up being told that sharing my problems or sharing my journey or talking too much about successes and stuff was bad. It brought like bad luck, right? My mom still tells me this day, Tulin, one day you will be skinny and you will be happy. And I say, no, Mom, my best life moments have been when I've gained weight. Not saying that's a goal of mine, but I've learned the most for myself from my failures. My success is because of my failures. And I am not the scale. I'm not. That's why I celebrate non-scale victories. I find reasons to celebrate daily, and I refuse to have any negative thoughts or any I can'ts or any that didn't work for me or any of those kinds of thoughts in my head. I'm always working to figure out how I can do it better, and I share that on social media because that one nugget can make a difference in somebody else's life. I don't script my stuff, clearly. I ramble, clearly, and I'm just me. I've had people go, can she get to the point? Go. Not for you. It's not for you because I'll never get to the point quickly. I just won't. It's not me, right? I'm not here to entertain you the way you want to be entertained. Those who will be entertained by what I have to say or makes a difference for them are the ones I'm talking to. Does this make sense to you guys? Does that make you a little more comfortable? I'm really hoping that you each saw, if you guys are just looking, she's a fat girl in fitness and I can't relate to her, I want you to figure out what that one thing is that's holding you back and find it and find a way to relate to it. Don't judge me by my size. Does that make sense? No one. Don't, because I don't fit the mold. What mold can you break right now? The human race needs fitness and nutrition. We have a solution in the box. And if you can't shout Beachbody from the rooftops proudly and know somebody's going to have something really crappy to say, then you need to reevaluate what you're doing. Oh, but I don't want to seem like I'm selling stuff. But you just sold 40,000 other items during the day by either wearing it, purchasing it, talking about it, posting about it on social media. But somehow Beachbody is taboo. I sign up with challenge packs because I refuse to half coach people. And if you're coming to me about my results, I am doing a disservice by not giving the total solution. Period. End of story. End of day. End of day. That's it. That's it. Lindsay is killing this business. I mean, look at all the stars she has behind her head. Like, I am looking for, I'm not coveting what she has. But you know what happens for me when I see other people successful in this business? It shows me what's possible. Start looking at other people who are doing what you want to be able to accomplish and not go, I wish, they're lucky, they're brave. I'm none of those things. They're full of confidence. And instead change your mindset and say, wow, look what's possible. I can do that. That's what this business is about. That's it. Did that help, Lindsay? Was that good? You guys good with that? I'll answer questions if you have questions.
I was just going to say there's plenty of room at the top. Isn't that our little mastermind speech? She's like, I'm coming. I'm going to meet you guys up there. Is that what you say?
Yes. Hold me a spot. You know hold my spot. You know the most amazing part? Lindsay and I's businesses are probably light years away in all of this, right? And then we have Keely, who's on Melanie Mitro's team, who's in our little mastermind. And you know what? I know those girls that hold me a spot. There is not a more family environment than I have ever met in Beachbody where people are legitimately willing to share the answers. The reason why, now, will you have rough months? You will absolutely have rough months. But I'm telling you, if you're not getting SC and you're not recruiting, you are not having the conversation, you're not willing to shout this from the rooftops, and you're not doing the work on a daily basis, and you're like, oh, it's mid-month. I'll just wait till next month. You know what I'm saying? It's Wednesday night. I don't want to waste my SCs. The system works, but it works the best when you share yourself authentically.
So I'm going to add something. You guys, if you have any questions, ask, but I want to add something. So last night what were we? I don't even know, but we were talking about who knows what. And I think she's one of Melanie Mitro's coaches, and she's in this little mastermind with us. And she's an elite coach, but she was, Tulin introduced us to video email. And so we've been slowly introducing you guys to it because I want to make sure, like, I'm over here like, is it going to work or how does she do this? Like, what's her system? So anyways, long story short, last night we're talking and Tulin's like, I don't know what happened, but I ended up on the video that I shared with you guys. And I'm like watching her just like talk and then the husband comes in and he's like talking kind of from the side and she's like, oh, here's the dress. And she's doing it. And I'm like, my kids are in the background like, doing this. And it's like an hour past their bedtime. And I'm like, why are they not in bed? So I'm like, I'm about to go live and I'm going to talk about why my kids aren't in bed. And she's like, yes. So it's stuff like that. It's like the moment of what you're going through. And earlier yesterday, I was hiding in my closet from everybody. And I was going through clothes and my closet had half a hot mess and half it was color coded. And I was like, this is my brain. And I went live in my closet and I'm like, I am coming to you from my closet right now. And I'm like, let me tell you what I'm dealing with. I want to eat all the chocolate and I want to eat all the carbs or something like that, I said. And I'm like, because I sprained my back, I found out inflammation causes hunger. I just learned that. And then I was saying, and also, men, plug your ears. But I was like, and it's the time of the month, and there's that. And I'm like, yapping about this on the live. And I'm like, but I know if I try to add some apple cider vinegar to my water, it might help me. And I'm just rambling in the closet, like just got out of the shower. I don't look hot. I look like a hot mess. Here's my clothes. I don't even know if I want to wear this next week. Maybe I should go back to the store. And like, this was because Tulin was like, Lindsay, just go. And I'm like, what are we going to talk about? Being a bad mom, or why are my kids still running around an hour later? Is this ever going to end? So anyways, to give you guys some ideas of like what is truly going on in your world right now. Like when you guys go to Nashville next week, you're easily going to be like, here's what's going on in my world. I'm walking around Nashville and I got all these amazing people with the fireworks and blah, blah, blah. But what goes on every day that your people can, like, you know how you have those messages with some of your favorite people and you're just like talking about silly stuff? It's that stuff that brings, and I've just kind of figured this out myself from Tulin. So for the record, over here, Elite all these years, and I'm just like, oh, like I should go on and talk about how annoyed I am that my kids are still awake 2 hours. Like, why are they still awake? What is the deal? Like, is this ever going to end? Like, and I had moms who were like, it won't end. You need to burn more energy. Take them swimming. Like, they were giving me ideas. I think Carissa, who's on the call, was actually giving me these ideas. So you guys, sorry, I'm not trying to take over the call, but I wanted to just add that piece of like, that part of your life is everything that the right people are going to be like hooked to you. And then the other part is the struggle and the pain, because the pain is the pain is what creates who you are. And I kind of learned this from Tony Robbins. Just if you haven't watched his Netflix thing, a lot of language, but really good, because he literally helped me to realize every pain point you go through in life created who you are right now, and you wouldn't be who you are, nor would your tribe be with you if you didn't have that. So I have PCOS, like Tulin. I had to go through a massive infertility battle, as some of you know. You were right along the journey with me, and smart enough back then, before I really knew I was in Beachbody, but I didn't know what I was doing, but I was smart enough to blog about everything because I was trying to get it out of my system because it was so pent up. And because I did that, and I was smart enough to dig into some PCOS groups on Facebook, just because I needed, I was like, so like, oh my God, I'm going to die. This disease is going to kill me. Like, I'm never going to have a family. Why was I even born on this earth? Like, I was like going into suicide mode because I was like, I was born to have a family. Like, this is ridiculous. Why is this happening to me? And I was, all the while, I was getting Success Club and I was recruiting and I was still going up the battle. I was just like a star diamond coach. I was very baby coach, and I could have walked away. But because I like tapped into things and I was being an open book about it, not like, I wasn't like posting it like a novel on Facebook, which you can do, but I just chose a blog for the time being. And now there's live. And like a lot of you people on this team are PCOS and or your twin moms. Cause then it shifted to, oh boy, now I'm gonna have twins. Oh my God, like, oh my God, this is happening. And then it shifted to, I needed to connect to the twin moms. Cause I was like, and all the while, I've been able to inspire people while I'm over here a hot mess. Like, my closet's a hot mess. I don't know how to be a good mom. And I've created a tribe that way. And then you have all created your own tribes through figuring some of this out as well. Okay, I just really talked.
But that's the thing. You see how Lindsay's taking what she's learning, and she had to go outside of her comfort zone, and then she could look back and go, hey, I was doing this here. And here's the thing, and I'm sure Lindsay experienced this. I used to be the national spokeswoman for the PCOSA, one of the largest PCOS organizations back in the day. I was able to tackle my PCOS and its symptoms through nutrition. I'm a big believer it's in the nutrition. I'm not here to debate, convert, talk into, blah, 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 any of that. I'm only sharing my journey and other people that I've helped in the story. And I stepped down because I was not allowed to share that information because they wanted to get funding from pharmaceuticals. Not anti-pharmaceutical, but that's the reality of it. And the thing is, when I walked into a room that was women dealing with infertility issues, and I'm talking about hardcore PCOS symptoms. I used to have male pattern balding. There was a woman who had long red, like she literally, like Rapunzel, like red hair, and totally male pattern balding. But I'd walk into a room of women who were battling infertility issues. I knew my audience. I knew not to discuss my kids. Not because I'm not proud of them and I don't love them, but I'm sensitive to it, okay? You can go into a PCOS community and go, oh my gosh, I got the solution for you. Here's where it is. Go do this. Lindsay, go do this right now. And people come back, go attack, 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 attack. Why? Because they were told, and they choose to believe, that they have to stay where they are. They were told they can't have children, therefore they're not going to try any harder. And they have gone for years and years and years and years without a diagnosis, being told they were crazy, hypochondriac, doctors washing their hands of them, just lose weight, blah, 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 blah. And it's so freaking comfortable to live in that prescription bottle. And they found a community of other people who will live in that too. It is the few that will be willing to go, maybe there's something on the outside of this. And maybe I can take this woman's hand and just at least apply what she's teaching me. And let me take the chance. But the vast majority of them aren't going to do it. Because when I got diagnosed with my PCOS and insulin resistance and blah, blah, as a list, endometrial, the list was long. Like, see, I am sick and I do have a problem. And here's the doctor's information. And I identified with that so much. And I would not listen to what somebody else had to say because I'm a PCOSer. My husband has MS. MS doesn't have him. I don't struggle with my PCOS symptoms, but if I go back to my previous lifestyle, I can welcome that all back. Am I saying it's a cure? No. Just saying with you, I don't deal with the issues. I don't. I got a couple hairs here. And if you see one, you got to tell me I go pluck it because they do frustrate me. But I don't battle those symptoms anymore. I don't live in that. So you have to know your audience, right? Like you have to know it. So, and you have to be willing that when other people are going to want to attack you and you walk in that community, that you only focus, there's 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 people in here that are going to take my hands and I'm going to give them my all to help them at least make a difference in their lives, whatever that is. No promises, right? And that's it. And so she started applying it, and that makes me so happy to see her apply it. And you know what happens when you guys apply this stuff? She's celebrating you guys. Mm-hmm. So she needs to go through the process because I told her what I do. I know Melanie Nitro in teaching my process. That's why I just rather talk about authenticity and stuff. But I told her as best as this is how I do it. 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 So she's applying it for herself, right? Because she'll be able to teach it to her team better. But I'm telling you, video is everything. Oh, I'm shy. I can't be on video. And I got to be on meetup, blah, blah. Half the time, I'm a royal mess on video. But that might not be you. That might not be you. So don't go be a mess if that's not you, right? It didn't used to be me. It is now.
It's definitely me.
I'm all for the mess. Hot mess.
I was going to say the other cool thing, which I kind of hit on basically, was what Tony had said on the Netflix, if you haven't heard it yet, was his mom abused him. And he said he could talk woe is me, but he's like, I wouldn't be Tony Robbins and I wouldn't be here if she wouldn't have abused me.
100%.
Because she abused me, he talks about it right in the beginning of the whole video. If you watch it, he talks about like he was beaten by his mom, he goes into it forced him to want to never treat his wife that way, to want to never be like that with kids. I don't know if he has kids, but I think he was kind of saying in general. And then he talks about how and then he talks about how he groomed himself into who he is. Literally, he's like, I created this. He's like, every day I wake up, I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. Then he would go over and over and over with affirmations. And Tulin was doing that this morning. What were you doing? I am going to do this. And she's like affirming something to me this morning. And I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, I had to catch up to what we were talking about. But her and Kaylee were going back and forth about, I don't even know what we were talking about, but both of them were like, we got this, and it's really kind of sounds crazy, but it's something that you have to train your mind. Like, and Tony was in the news recently for burning feet or something, and he probably could have really been affected by that and been like, I'm shutting down my events, I'm not helping people anymore. But he wasn't, because I don't know what happened in the situation, but it didn't affect him, and my point of that is, you're going to get Tulin, do you get comments on your threads that are like hate comments or negative?
I have created an environment of positivity, no negativity, no fat shaming, body shaming, picking apart, self-negative talk, any of that kind of stuff. And that's the rule. And my followers know that's a rule. And when they start seeing it, they don't ever attack the other. They are gentle even to the occasional troll that shows up. I do not have trolls on my pages. I have one thread on my YouTube that I swear my trolls look like the little monsters from Monsters, Inc. And they ride Vespas. And I'm like, yeah, here, let's go over this one and bag on this girl for a while. And they're just trying to outdo each other. And I'm like, engagement, engagement, engagement. But I won't allow that to show up on my page because my ladies are safe where they are. And I promise that. So no. So yes and no. But I don't allow it. And I want to go back to what you just said, you know, why me, sorry, not what you said, but about Tony. I am who I am today because of going broke and homeless, because of my PCOS, because of my husband's MS, because of my nasty, negative, angry attitude. It was a choice to look at that and go, what can I learn from this? And even my husband and I gained $100,000 in debt in 6 days, in 6 freaking days with him in the hospital. And we're not afraid. We are not afraid because we know we can come out of it. 3 years ago, we didn't have that mindset. But what I did, and again, it's just another tweak in mindset, and this is what Lindsay's saying, it's a choice. It is a choice. Misery loves company. And if you start trying to speak positively to yourself or this mindset or personal development, and you get kind of that, you start feeling emotion, good. If you get a little sick to your stomach, good. If you get a physical reaction to it, good. It feels unnatural. It feels I feel fake. I can't lie to myself. People say that, I want to go, psh, psh, stop it. Because you're undervaluing somebody else who made the change doing that. Does that make sense? That's like saying, oh, I'm so jealous. And they're not jealous, but it's like when somebody says, hey, I'm doing this, 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 this. You want to change your attitude? Celebrate them. Don't tell them why you're not or what's going on in your life and be the Debbie Downer. Wah, wah, wah. Eeyore. Somebody's telling you, hey, I have this and this going on. You want to practice? Celebrate them. And learn from it. And the biggest thing that I do, and I did that this morning because I'm like on this roll, right? Because I'm so freaking inspired, but inspired to take action. I'm taking action. I never say anymore, why me? Ever. Ever. Just like I celebrate my nose, this is the honest to God truth. Ready? I say, what can I learn from it? And I always get really excited when something bad happens. I'm like, ooh, something good's going to come from this. I'm so grateful for those moments now, and it is a choice.
And when we started Country Heat, you guys, this was when her husband was on his deathbed, or almost, okay? It was day 1 and 2, and here she's like, hey guys, husband might die tomorrow, but we're going to do this workout now in the hospital. And she's like dancing in the video, and we're like, is everything okay? And she's like, I don't know what's going on right now, and I don't know when we get home. And trying to eat my food is really hard, but I'm in this group and I got this. And like, that's what was going on. And all of us, who kind of knew each other already were like, whoa, like this girl is amazing. Like, she's like, husband is on deathbed right now and she's not freaking out. She's just like, let's dance. And then I'm going to come back right here. And she danced right in front of him so he could be like, I mean, I don't know if he was awake and aware of what you were doing. I think he was talking to the video a little bit. But yeah, like who knows what that was like to be like, oh my God, life is flashing before eyes over here. Like everything could change in an instant, but I'm in this test group and I'm going to share with all these people in the test group what's going on in my world right now. And I'm guessing you shared it on your social media as well. And then like a week later, she comes back and the both of them are dancing. Was that what, now you're like, I locked him out of the office. He's not allowed in my office. I put boxes up. He can't come in.
He's using a walker. I booby trapped the office.
She was like, he's using a walker right now. He can't go in and work. And then the next thing you see is he's dancing with her with the walker. And it was a hit video, wasn't it? Like that thing took like thousands of views. Anyways, I just like, those are very noticeable things. People are like major inspired by all the overcoming and the struggle. Does that make sense?
But it's not, let's go back for a second though. It's not, I've had people tell me, I wish I had a lot of weight to lose. What? Why would you want this? Like, I wish I don't have a big transformation. That's all excuses, you guys. Peel it back. Call it what it is. I didn't have a big transformation either. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not until I did it. It was a series of little things. It's what Lindsay's telling you. And honestly, the reason why all that happened in the hospital room is because I lived in the vital behaviors. Because Beachbody teaches us to take care of us first so we can take better care of other people. What other company does that? And I had to take good care of myself, just like we all do. But don't look at like someone like me and go, well, I didn't go broken homeless. Well, I didn't have the big transformation. You have something in you that you can share and inspire other people. But seriously, make that tweak. Not why me. What can I learn from this? What can I help other people with? How can I be a better person?
All right, you got a question. You got 2 questions. A really long one.
Okay, how do you get back into invites when you're 100%? Discouraged is a choice. Where are you, Heather? Okay, unmute yourself.
Hey.
Hi, say being discouraged is a choice.
Being discouraged is a choice.
Say it again with conviction.
Being discouraged is a choice.
Okay, we fix that?
Yes, but I just don't know where to go from here.
Okay, you are going to share that. Why are you discouraged right now? What's discouraging you in your life? Give me an example. Give me one. First thing, because don't qualify it, and you're in a safe environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's one thing right now that's that thing that's eating you up inside?
Sorry. I just feel like in the beginning, I put a lot of effort into this, and I still have, but it's like I'm taking a lot of time away from my kids and my family, but not seeing the momentum from it. And I know Success Club is just a number, but when you don't hit it month after month, you just wonder, what's the point? I don't feel like I'm helping people, but then I get comments on my posts telling me how inspirational I am. But that's just people's words. Like, I want to see action, people doing this with me.
Okay, so people are actually sharing their heart. Also, I am not walking across the stage of Summit at a legend. Because I have months where I didn't meet SC, and it was usually in my dark days. And so we all go through this, okay? And what I would do is, why don't you talk about this? Like I feel like I'm not there enough for my family and my kids. But what if, I'm gonna use myself as an example. What if hitting Success Club meant the difference of being able to feed your family or not? What if it did? Because it did for me. It did for me because I had to get my Shakeology paid for.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids, there are times that they feel a little neglected. I'm a human, period, being, okay? It happens. And that's part of this process. But what if you could take that and say, here are some things that I can correct in my life so I can be more present, and how can I share this mommydom, Mommy Chronicles, online to help inspire other people. Now, you might get on a live. You might go, I can't go on live. But I'm going to encourage you to get on a live, and then you're going to tag me and Lindsay on it. I want you to go on live. You haven't done it yet. And I want you to talk about this. And then while you're doing it, every time you have something to say that sounds a little Debbie Downer-ish, right? But there are feelings. We have to honor those feelings. When I say the whole Debbie Downer thing, we got to have the feels, okay? Have the feels. And then in that process, I want you then, for everything that you feel that you're struggling with, for everything, you need to come up with 3 things that are positive to counter that. And I want you to share that. You can write it. You can do a live. I don't care how you do it. But you have to go into your feels, okay, and feel it. And then you need to share it. Because do you think you're the only mom that feels that way? Because there's moms who are going to work feel that way. And then, are you a stay-at-home mom? Okay, how guilty do stay-at-mom homes feel that they're staying at home and they still feel like they're neglecting their kids?
Mm-hmm.
And what can you do to help them on their journey? What tips would you give me right now? Give me 2 tips right now. Look, Heather, I'm really struggling. This is the honest to God truth. I'm doing all these personalized videos, bomb videos, to every single person that emails me, every testimonial, every brain pick, everything. I'm sitting on my computer 16 hours a day. I totally feel like I'm neglecting my kids. But I really got to hit SC. What can I do? What can I do? How about this? How about stop sending out personalized videos to every single person that reaches out to you? Wow, Heather, that's a great solution.
Yeah.
A great solution. What common questions do you have, Tulin? Well, I have this, and I have this, and I have this. Okay, what about if you created a video that answers those questions that you can send out instead? Okay. You understand what I'm saying? Like, your world is real. And your world is real to a lot of stay-at-home moms, even work-at-home moms. This is a common struggle. You will get better at your own struggle when you teach other people what you are learning to come out of it as you are in the throes of it. As you are in the throes of it, you are the most powerful and impactful with those tears in your eyes, not because of sympathy, but because it's a passion. It means something to you, and you are not allowing yourself to not hit Success Club because that feeds your kids or whatever it is. What does hitting Success Club mean to you and for your family? What does it mean to you and for your family? What will it do for you?
Well, hopefully I can keep staying home.
No, not hopefully. You gotta take that out.
There's just days where it's tight financially, like even just not being able to get Shaco for, 2 of us, and it just sucks.
Okay, I was right where you are. I'm not kidding you. You have people who are sharing who say that you touched their heart because they've connected with Heather and her raw journey. And the only thing stopping you from this part is, I'm not kidding you, it's like this. I kid you not, you guys, all the stuff I share with you, if you try to do all of it at once, you're going to fail at it. And while I think success comes from failure, you can't do it all at once. You got to do it in layers. Just make this tweak. And the first tweak you need to do is make your why so big. If staying at home is so important to you, the SC is there. It's just easier and more comfortable to live where you are right now. It's because it's what you know. It is a warm, comfortable bed on a cold day that calls you back into it. I can't tell you how many days I put my head back underneath the covers. And you really need to find a piece of personal development that's going to do what you're doing right now. But I want you to use social media as your personal therapy. I'm not kidding you. You don't have to share it all, but use the social media as your personal therapy. Here's my struggle today. Here are the things that I'm going to try. Here's what I'm thinking. I think if I make this little shift right here, things make anybody else dealing with this? Like if you are, will you give me like hearts and thumbs up? Can you do that for me? Right? See, Nancy's already giving me thumbs up. That's what you can do in your lives. Are you dealing with this? Like I literally was in a puddle of tears this morning. Don't act. Don't go for engagement. Don't go for SC. You will receive them. But the more you open, do you know why you have cracks in your heart? Why your heart breaks? So your light can shine through. And it can't shine through unless you've had a broken heart and until you have pain points. Let your light shine. So you go and let your light shine by going on and just pick one thing you talk to me about right now. And go and share it. And I will tell you, even from the business perspective, you share that and go, it's really hard. I'm a stay-at-home mom and I feel guilty. Now, you are going to have some Sams who are to come out and go, well, you're a stay-at-home mom. You shouldn't be working anyways, right? It's like the whole breastfeeding thing. Like, just like divide. You can't be in between, right? Is that your audience? Are you there to debate, convert, talk into anyone? You're not, right? Because it's Heather's world. This is Heather's social media page. It is a choice. Do not engage. Do not engage. And you can tell them, I'm sharing me. You can have an opinion otherwise, but this live is probably not for you. Go. That's how I handle my trolls when I have them, or negative. But this is what you should be sharing, Heather, because it's where you are. And you will help make a difference in other people who are stay-at-home moms. But you can't use, I can't pay for Shakeology and the frustration with that. And so I can continue staying at home. It's just you are overwhelming yourself so much with all the stuff I have to do, and I'm no longer hitting, and it just fills up inside of you, and you can't break out of it because it's too much work. Focus on one thing today. What's one thing you can do to move your business forward? But what's one thing you can do today to help share the light that's shining out of you? What can you go talk about?
I don't.
You know how hard it is to be a stay-at-home mom. Why don't you write it? Why don't you write a post about it today? And write your why. And define your why and put it in writing. And why being a stay-at-home mom is important to me. And why this business is important to me. And it's really interesting because I'm talking about the business side of it too. Never be ashamed that you run a business. And why this matters to you. Go write that post. Don't edit it. Don't worry about it as a typo. Don't worry about any of that kind of stuff. Just literally just open up your heart and spill it on a piece of paper. Or actually what I would do is spill it on a Facebook post and press send and then walk away. and just walk away. Just get it off your heart, and then you will get better and better at it. But Heather, I can't even tell you how many times I sat on days like you feel right now, where I could not move forward in my business at all. You can do it. If I can do it from being broken homeless, you can do it from home. Just make your kids and the reason why you're home more important than anything else. And the only way you'll hit, because the thing about Success Club, you guys, it's not about going for Success Club points. I know I said this before. It's about receiving them. And you will receive them by helping others on the journey because you are taking good care of you. What are ways that you can take better care of you when you're in this dark moment right now? I'm in a dark place right now. And here's my feels. Never leave them hanging with your feels, because they'll come on and go, I struggle with that too. Because then you just unloaded on them and now they have to carry your burden, but you feel better, right? Always give them hope in the sense of what steps you're going to take, regardless if they work or not. Just because you wrote them down doesn't mean you're married to them. These are an idea. It's something you're going to try. Does that make sense? You're constantly willing to tweak. Are you going to do that for me today?
Yeah.
Okay, no, but I'm serious, because I don't want you to come off this of being all inspired and you're crying and then you don't do anything with it. Like, you need to go do something with it.
I know.
You need to
I
go
haven't even posted today yet.
Perfect.
So what you're going through right now is different from what I went through when I didn't have the twins yet. But like, I went through that where I was tearful, like I'm getting teary-eyed talking about it, because I didn't know what the future held for me. And I just kept spitting it out because I didn't know what else to do. And everybody was mad at me on the family side. Like, why are you spitting this out? Why are you being public? And I'm like, I don't know where else to outlet this. I don't have a therapist. I'm alone. Nobody's going through this. Where do I find help? Where do I find people? What do I do? Like, I 30 years, I had no idea I had a disease. Like, no doctor told me this, and this comes out of nowhere. Like, what? No wonder I've had acne problems so many years. Like, nobody ever helped me. And I was a doctor girl and, visiting doctor. But because I did that, which is what Tulin's telling you to do, like, spit it out, all this tribe came my direction. And I didn't even know they were kind of, like, some of them I knew because I would connect with them privately. And then a lot of them came, like, Crystal Pickerell's a great example. She came, like, I've been watching you and whatever. And it came from, and it was me talking a lot about, the twins and whatever. So I don't know if that kind of helps you to really start to think, okay, these struggles, if I just start sharing them, I can start connecting.
And don't quantify or put the value in your post by the number of likes and comments.
Right.
Okay? Don't. Put the value in what you did is, I've released myself. I found some solutions. I'm actually going to try these today. I'm going to do them, not try, right? It may make a difference in somebody else's life. Only focus on, so a lot of people are going to be on this journey with you who will never reach out to you, and you get to be a part of the journey indirectly, and that's a beautiful thing too. They are not SC points, right? So just do that, and then you'll be amazed. You will be, but you have to be, you can't do the post. I did it once, nothing happened. Well, nothing happens when you do it once.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just keep doing it. Like, live in the space of being, you can't live to the gym one time and expect to lose 50 pounds, right? Like, make this part of your process. Just make it part of your process. And maybe that's who your focus is right now. Stay-at-home moms is about the business. Right now, you're sharing with me as part of the business too, right? So live in that space a little bit. You can tweak it and change your conversation later, but the more you're in this space, the better. Does that help?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can I answer Jessica's question real quick? Do we have time?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Tulin, I have a hard time sharing my past, or my now ex-husband cheated on me. I feel like it's showing people I can't move past this. Okay, let me ask you something. Are you willing to, because sometimes when we talk about stuff like that, it feels like you're venting, right? You feel like that Carrie Underwood song that, you took a baseball bat. Look, I'm singing country. I must be my country heat shirt. What just happened? I just literally referenced a country. You're my witness. I better back it up a little bit of hardcore gangster rap. Okay. All right. So when you go through, I don't think I have a face for Jessica. Okay, so it depends on where you are in this journey, right? Like, I have all this stuff about my ex, and I don't put it all out there because I have a son, and we were also young, and we were stupid, okay? But what did you learn about yourself in this process? You don't have to talk about the divorce per se, okay? Or are you divorced? Yeah, now ex-husband. You don't have to talk about that per se, but don't you find you lose yourself for a while, and then you start finding yourself? And finding yourself might, hold on, I gotta have a finding yourself initially could legitimately be, I'm not putting this lipstick because it's not my color today. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's just hurting yourself today. You put on lip gloss that you haven't worn in ages in general. And you know what? I'm going to go back to just making this commitment to myself. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know where you are in this whole process, but share like how you're rediscovering yourself or the independence. You know who does a really good job at this, and I really love it? Nicole Holt. You guys know Nicole Holt?
Yes.
She does a beautiful job in sharing her journey, and she didn't used to. And she's gotten more and more and more and more. And so she talks about it, but she doesn't like, she'll talk about her ex-husband and the friendly divorce. And I guess it got some news coverage too, but that part doesn't matter. The part you need to focus on, she just started sharing little bits of things that she was discovering about herself, or like, not that you have to go on Tinder, but like her dating experiences or all the pictures that men send her. You don't have to go that far, right? But in this particular case, that's some of the things that make me laugh about Nicole. And Nicole really started to discover more and more about herself as she journeyed further and further away from her divorce, and really started sharing that process with others in really kind of fun, authentic ways that were very much Nicole, very much uniquely who she is. And so I would share that rediscovery of yourself. Like, what is that process? And if you're still hurting, girl, you're still hurting. Like, have the feels. Like, you know, it could be abandonment. It could be anything. I mean, the fact that he chose someone else over me, or whatever those things are, whatever is running through your mind, because I've had those thoughts myself, excuse me, whatever those thoughts that you're having in your mind, what are you doing to heal and get past it? Did you go back to therapy? Did you start reading particular personal development? Did you learn something today about yourself that you had forgotten about and it didn't reveal itself until you did get out of this marriage? Like, what are those things? That way you move away from the venting and you're sharing your raw journey. Because there's other people who've been through what you've been through, and maybe you can talk about the divorce openly if that's where you are, and I don't have a problem with it. Then do that. But a lot of people can understand, like, you know what? Rediscovering myself after ending my marriage has been a process. Like, my heart was broken, or I started having some doubts in myself. And this is just really a journey. And I just want to share my heart and my experiences and kind of what I'm doing right now. And just, if nothing else, you read this, thanks for cheering me on. And you'll be amazed. People will be like, cheer you on. Look what happened to Heather on the thread here, sharing her journey, right? Like, just people will connect to that nugget. It's not even the nugget you think that they're going to connect to. It's like this other thing. And it may be somebody who's never been cheated on or divorced. And they're like, I really related to that. Does that make sense? Like, just share that discovery today, or that thing that you're doing to get through your day today. Same exact thing I told Heather. Does that make sense, Jessica? Okay, cool. You're going to spend a lot of time, you guys, like trying to qualify what you post. Is this going to be a good post? Should I post this or should I post this? I don't know. Post both. Should I say this or should I say this? I don't know. Say one. Like, there are no definitive answers on what you should share. But if you stay authentic in your journey, where you stand today, in this moment, you can't go wrong. That post that I put up yesterday, that when Lynn's like, I'm like, I started having these doubts myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, if they don't know who I am, this is how they're going to meet me. I'm like, okay, wait, Tulin, you are you, this is how you felt, just go with it, right? Like, I'm talking myself off the ledge. Hello, I'm not like overly confident. Like, I had to like, that's the first intro to me, but that's what Lindsay felt to share. So go with it, right? Do you know that drove 40 qualified leads to my inbox? I told people not to email me unless they were serious about working with me. 40 leads to my inbox. I might not all close them all today, but we're pretty confident we're going to hit 200 SC points this month. Now, you might go, Tulin, you have so many coaches. Why don't you have, more diamonds? And that's the stuff that I'm working on. That's what I'm doing right now. And that was the whole affirmation thing that's going on this morning. And I'm like, I got it, because I heard something Lindsay said yesterday and just kind of rolling around my head. And I actually said it to you. And I go, you are doing with your coaching what I'm doing with the fitness. Now you're going to do this here and I'm going to do this here. And oh my God, just hold my spot. Hold my spot. She's a lot closer to 15-star than I am. Right? Do you guys know that when you guys make these tweaks, that you guys will be a 15-star Diamond Team Plus? And it's not about Lindsay, it's about all you guys, because I am so proud to be a part of a 15-star Diamond team, because my coach does so much just reaching his hand out to me that I take my Diamond really, really seriously. I take it very, very seriously. But I'm telling you, these tweaks, this team will be unstoppable. And not only does she have an opportunity as a team, as you guys hit 15-star Diamond, so do all the rest of you guys. I kid you not. there are too many people out there that need my help. And I keep hearing everybody telling me how crappy July is. And I'm like, because I didn't go into July, I think it's crappy. Now, I may have a really crappy August. Like they might all kill it with country heat. And I go, yeah, I did okay. Right? It's possible. Am I going to do a comparison game with them? I'm not. But I'm going to keep doing what I do and keep getting better at it. But you guys honestly should all come together, figure out how you can better share, get really serious about your Success Club. I'm not kidding you. Go out. Because what Success Club does is quantifies that you are sharing your journey and making a difference in somebody else's life. That's that check. Be proud of that check. That is the ultimate thank you. It's the ultimate thank you. And get to diamond. Get to diamond. And then after that, get to 2-star. And each person on here can do that. And it's the only reason why you guys aren't, and this is the honest to goodness truth, you aren't living in the business on a daily, you aren't shouting it regularly or easily from the rooftops, you're unwilling to share your drama and your trauma in whatever way is comfortable for you at that moment, and you're hoping that this will magically just open up. You're waiting for that one system, that one post, that one something. Doesn't exist. You are the magic sauce. I'm telling you, you are the magic sauce. Each one of you guys. And there's plenty of people out there who need your help. Nancy's changing a baby. I'm good. You know that kind of lean back, wipe this, you know. Anyway, yeah.
Nancy's lost 160 pounds. She has PCOS as well, right, Nancy? 140 pounds? What did you lose?
She has poop on her fingers.
144. I'm sorry. Changing
too, right?
faces at you.
I'm gonna eat his toes. They're so cute. Or her toes. So cute. That is amazing, Nancy. And let me guess that you are a multi-diamond.
Oh, she's not.
Where you at, Nancy?
Ready to cry is where I feel Heather. I have no problem sharing. I can share like everything about my story. It doesn't bother me. I don't care who talks about me. I'm still over 200 pounds. I don't even care.
That's where it starts.
I don't know. Like I don't even know. You know what? I had a coach that was like this rock star coach pick up, walk out, and quit on me, and it was like, I'm sorry, excuse my language, total mind fuck for me.
I had 2 of those. Yeah, I hear you.
And like one beach body challenge, one money. I don't even know what happened. So yesterday I ended up just getting the official beach body termination for her husband, and another coach. Mm-hmm. I feel like it was a relief, but now I'm like stuck in this jam of I have tons of people commenting on my post, and I don't know what to say to them. Like I'm just stuck. Like I don't even know. I'm just stuck.
Drive to your inbox. See if you can help them. Drive them to your inbox. I use inbox. Some people use babies. Some people use IM. Drive them to your inbox. They're telling you stuff. They are looking at you, wishing they can do what you can do. And if that person goes, like when people cancel, they cancel. I am not responsible for their success, nor will let me hold me back. Excuse me. They up and quit on themselves. People can't handle their success. We shut down a multi-million-dollar business and went broke and homeless because my husband's business partner could not handle the success. Because people don't know how to work with the stuff between their ears, right? And so they get to diamond and they somehow think like the world opens up. But that's when the real work begins. Mm-hmm. And because you've had this experience, Nancy, it actually makes you a better coach. Because when you have that coach of yours that goes through the same thing, you're like, I did that. I went through that. I was frustrated, but here's what I did. But you're not talking to enough people. If you're getting a lot of comments, you are not inviting them in to a challenge or whatever it is you want to call it. You're not inviting them to your inbox, your IM, however it is that you run your business. And you're going, I can help you. Let me find out more about you. What are your goals? What are your struggles? Overcoming Objections Part 4 and 5 by Barbie Decker. If I had a secret sauce, that's it.
I'll post it, you guys.
Thank you. Go and listen to that. But Nancy, not because you're a tremendous transformation, but you have the right attitude. Like, this is where I am, blah, 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 blah. People are commenting. So now you figure out what that tweak is between the commenting and getting them to close. And chances are because you're not asking them to. And setting it, that's it. Like, I'm getting all this recruiting, but now I've got to have this. It's almost like a connection, like 2 wires. Like, what's going to.
I know the stupidest thing. Like, I know whatever it is and I figure it out. I know it'll just be like right back to my business, like, woo, Success Club. Like, but the last 3 months, I'm like grinding out success. I'm hitting it. I'm hitting 10, but I'm panicking. Like this was never like this. Like it was always like hit SC first 2 weeks so that I could spend the time with my coaches the last 2. And I don't know. This was just a total mess me up.
It's a choice to let it mess you up. Use this as an opportunity because you're going to be able to talk somebody else off the ledge when this happens to them. Businesses ebb and flow. And then you have to learn and tweak what you're doing. But you're still hitting SC10, right?
Yeah.
That is the example, not her tremendous transformation, which I'm just totally inspired by and enamored with just hearing that because I'm on a journey like that, right? That's what I'm talking about. She made SC a non-negotiable. Period. End of story. Because it makes a difference for those kids in the background. Does it or does it not, Nancy?
Yeah, it does.
It's a choice. And she can let July slip by. It's a crappy month. I'll wait for launch, et cetera, et cetera. She can do that.
I was at -4. I had 2 people who fully, I just feel like it was just been one thing after another. Like I told Lindsay, I had 2 people join together. They did full 30 days, 21-day fix with me. I'm sorry.
Right.
Full 21-day fix with me. I know they drank their Shakeology. I know they were working out, checked in on them all the time. Both of them, 2 girlfriends, returned the bags, returned their programs, and boom, -4 before I even started this month.
That's fine. That's part of the business.
We just had somebody
go
through the whole program.
I had somebody go through my entire 30-day program and then return the stuff at the end. It happens to me on occasion. My return rate's pretty low, but it seems like, I don't know what Beachbody does. It like they come in pods.
Good boys.
Be a high recruiter with high SC and you get that pod of returns. You're like, holy crap. I've had weeks where I've been in the negative and I just come back out of it. Is it frustrating? Yes, but this is a legitimate business, right? That is a natural process in business. So then you have to look and go, what can I do differently to better support them or whatever? And sometimes this has nothing to do with you. It's just them. They decided to do it. They didn't see the value in it. You're not here to debate, convert, talk into, justify. They go. But I love when people have these negative experiences in Beachbody because it always excites me because I just know that the more crap or weird stuff you happen in Beachbody, like I didn't know you can lose rank, like holy goodness. Instead of flipping out and quitting, Beachbody sucks. Blah, blah, blah. You go, okay, all right, well, I learned that. I'll make sure that my team never deals with that. Or if I have somebody else that deals with it, at least I have the experience. But every time I hear people have this wonky stuff happen or the returns or the negative stuff, it makes me really excited because I'm glad you experienced it because it makes you a better coach. It does. And, I mean, what can I say? You're making SC10 a non-negotiable. I don't know how Lindsay runs her tent. I don't actually promote high SC and high recruiting. It just I don't say it naturally happens. That's not true. I do share, right? And it's drawing people in. But, yeah, that stuff's going to happen. What can you do differently and better? You always have to kind of analyze that in yourself. Like I'm doing that right now. What can I do differently and better? But that's a natural part of this business.
And what'll happen for Tulin because of figuring out how to develop her diamonds because she's that's where she's struggling. What's going to happen is her diamonds that come in and whatnot, she's going to be able to be like, so here's what I dealt with. And I failed my way to the, and I'm over here failed through, I don't even know how many different things I've been through in the past, however many years I've been a coach that people on the team can be like, this is happening. And I can be like, yeah, been through that and it's normal. And when I say to people, when you go Emerald, you want 4 coaches. You don't want just 2 because what's going to happen? When you go Diamond, you want 4 Emeralds on each side or 2 Emeralds because what's going to happen when one falls off? You're still solid. When you go 2-star, it's more like you want 4 diamonds so you're 2-star solid because I should be a 15-star diamond right now. That's how many have fallen off. Tons of diamonds have fallen that I've developed. I would be a 15-star if they would all come together. But I'm not going to go harassing them get your diamond. That's not my job because it's their business. It doesn't affect the team. I mean, I guess, but I mean, it's something that I can either let define me and I can go around and be angry about why didn't they get their diamond back? Or I can get out there and connect with new people like an Ashley Tyler, for example, who comes in and just kills it in 60 days. And I'm like, okay, I'll work with you. You want to run? Let's run. Versus someone who I'm trying to revive and revive and revive. Does that make sense? So what happens is now I can teach you, Nancy, like I can guide you and be like, okay, we've had this failure. Now let's move forward. What do we do next? And you're going to be like, okay, now I have diamonds. So I'm going to teach them to have more than one emerald on each side because we don't want them to lose diamond. Does that make sense? So like all this stuff that we're dealing with on all levels, right? Like scared to share on Facebook, lost in Success Club, feeling like nobody's there to help anymore, whatever you're feeling, like Heather's feeling, there's two, that's her way of feeling her way forward. And then moving beyond that. And all you guys get to take all of this and you get to mentor your teams. Like, no, don't do that. I've been there. Or let's go in this direction. Or no, let's not go there. Like, you're going to be able to help them because you've been through it. And that's the cool part about me being, minutes ahead, if you will, because I've fallen through things without an upline. So, I like recently, I've got like a coach now, but I came into a coach who quit on me and walked away, and there's kind of I was kind of going in circles, like, what am I supposed to be doing? So there's just so many cool things about like failing, like bottom line.
We are where we are right now. Nancy, how many times have you failed in your weight loss journey? How many times have you quit on yourself? How many times did it not go right?
More times than I can count.
Same thing in your business. And look, you're still 140 pounds down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The choice, you go back to where you were. Same exact thing in your business. No difference. And I am a big believer in what Lindsay said. I have a really strong leg that didn't exist before, that it doesn't make sense for me to put more coaches underneath there because I have all this volume. So I'm putting it on my other leg that I'm growing, like all these coaches that I'm bringing in, right? I may end up with 10 diamonds on that side and still be a 2-star, but I got to make sure that I get something, right? So am I going to cry about it? I'm not. Like, it's not always the accolades, but I understand how important the rank is as well. Does that make sense? Like, you just got to keep going. But if you get to diamond and you hang out, you're going to fall unless you do exact. And I was a heart attack diamond, and it took me a little bit to understand what Lindsay said. And when I took that advice, it changed my business. Changed it.
Oh, you got to love heart attack diamonds.
Yeah.
They are real.
They are real. I was for a long time because I didn't want to, by the way, because I refused to recruit people. I didn't want to tell anybody about coaching. And then my coach goes, I'm going to recruit 100 coaches this year. I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to try the same thing too. And then I blew past him. And then I blew past him again. And then I blew past him. By the way, when I was one of the top recruiters in Beachbody, I had a plateau that year and a gain.
A weight gain, right?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm on my way back down from it. And I busted my knee.
Dancing. No.
Yeah.
Country heating your way down.
I know, right? Well, Country Heat totally opened up that I can move my lower body. So that was really, I was really stoked. Country Heat's awesome. It's fun. And I'm wearing the shirt. By the way, anybody plus size going to Summit, please. I'm going to do a whole video today on the plus size line. Advise on this line, you guys. Everything we'd asked for, we now have. It's a handful of items, but the more we show that we're actually wearing them and buying them, the more options we're going to have. And I get nothing for telling you guys that. Like, I'm not like getting a cut. Like, I'm just telling legitimately.
Were you the one on the cruise ship that requested it? Was that you who stood up in the meeting? Or those
multiple times.
Because we were on a cruise in 2014 and you stood up and they were like, I'm in the plus size industry or I'm in the plus size market and you got nothing for us.
That was me.
This is a problem. I think you were really happy about the 21-day fix modifier.
Yes.
She wasn't like a fit lady, but I think was that you? Because I was sitting in that meeting when you were like, Carl, she like stood up and told everyone now we have a whole plus size clothing line because plus size ladies, just because they're not abs or size 6 or whatever, they still matter. And Carl, like, he acknowledged that whole thing and he's like, you're right.
Yeah, and that was me. I stood up and said, I'm a proud plus size Beachbody coach, and the audience erupted. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, and I just said it. Like, nobody was calling themselves a proud plus-size Beachbody coach. Like, oh, I can't be proud of the fact I'm plus size. No, plus is positive. Like, that's where a lot of us went to go learn and love ourselves. And then when you love yourself, guess what you start doing? You start taking care of yourself. All these people have this conversation about plus is negative. I can never call plus size. Probably has never been in our shoes or is really desperate to become a model and they don't fit in between. So they make a big deal about plus size, removing the label, hoping they'll be able to get work. What? How do I know that? Because I know that. Because I know that. So I've been championing that word.
This is what her lives are like. You guys are hilarious.
It's like that. No, but that was it. Because you know why? Because and here's the thing, you guys. You can advocate or you can just sound bitchy. How come you don't have this in our side? Why isn't there a plus size woman in there? Blah, 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 blah. Celebrate a company that's willing to keep taking these steps forward. And the more we celebrate and the more we show them, and they understand, like if I can get rid of the whole end the trend of obesity piece, not saying that's not a problem, I get it. But I don't know about you guys, as an obese woman, the more I hear somebody tell them about obesity, I'm like it's like this. It's like, you want to end the trend, let those of us in the trend help others while we're working our way out of the trend. But like legitimately, like how many people have freaking told me I'm obese? Like from my doctor to my friends, we get it. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to make a change there. Because Carl really loves that data, and we're like, we know.
That's funny.
Anyways, I hope that was helpful to you guys.
So helpful. Thank you for taking some extra time with us. This was so good. I hope this helped you guys. Because Tulin's been helping me, and I'm like, I saw her just in the hospital doing her thing, and like then all of a sudden her name starts getting announced, and we're starting to put two and two together. Like, what is she doing over there? And she's doing video email, which we can talk more about. I can share more with you guys. It's super cool, and it took me like 24 hours to process how to do it.
Yeah. And she's been a great student. And hey, you guys, I'm an 11-star, 4-time elite diamond who could have hit 15-star a few times, reaches out to this lowly, no, I'm not, but you know what I mean, a 2-star coach and says, what are you doing? Me, I'm going, I know what's possible, right? Like I know what's possible. And she's so willing to share her answers. So she'll share what we've shared as she goes through the process. I think it's more impactful for her to experience it. But I'm telling you, it was a game changer for me. But the first thing is, you guys, don't wait for the secret sauce. You are the secret sauce. Go on social media. 99.9% of the people I work with, I have no idea who they were. A lot of them have never commented or liked my posts. Keep that in mind.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I know a lot of my coaches on the side were like, can I give her a hug? So if we find you at Summit, you'll get...
You will find me at Summit like this.
Oh, you'll be at the Premier Shopping Spree.
Yes, but if you walk down the hall, because people stare at me when I walk by, and I always get really, really self-conscious of myself, and they're like, they want to talk to me, and I'm like, just come talk to me, because otherwise I walk like this. I'm not as shy as Caleb in person. Caleb's like ridiculously shy in person, but yeah, I'm super, super shy, and I'm a hugger, so just grab me. But if I look like I'm like, that's the place that I get overwhelmed in crowds and things like that. We were like, hey, I was on Lindsay's call. Like, hey! I'll probably remember your name.
The girl who's talking about sweating through her dress on her live, okay?
Yeah.
Like, he's talking about what's going to happen. I'm standing over a heater, and like, it was like I was drenched. And then she like goes into like these other things, like Summer's Eve and how it helps with the maybe coconut oil is going to help my legs. I'm like,
it's not the sun. There's everything's good down there. We're good. Good pH balance. It's the anti-chafing stuff.
Oh, is it chafing? Whatever.
And one's from Summer's Eve. The other one's from Mass and Gale. And everybody thinks that I've got like, wonky problems down there, which I have PCOS is possible. But yeah. And then I talk about my Spanx and like that whole.
She introduced me to Flexies. I'm like, what are these Flexi things? What are you talking about?
Sears has them better than Spanx, thicker. I like them, and they have undies because I was talking about my belly pouch, and I keep saying it's like I feel like I'm smuggling bananas in a fanny pack in the front. And like this thing it keeps changing and evolving, but I'm like now, so you only see me in dresses all Summit, and when I'm in Philly, if you guys are in Philadelphia, I'm speaking in Philadelphia at Super Saturday, and then in Houston, and I'm literally going to be wearing dresses because I can't dress around my belly apron because nothing is fitting. Right. Nothing is fitting. And you go, oh, well, you're not losing weight. Are you kidding me? My belly just came like 12 inches off my thighs over the past couple of years, and my booty keeps getting bigger. So I'm waiting for the booty to go down and a little bit, and my belly apron. But as they rise up, my pants fit me tighter. So I just go, you know what? Dress as it is. And I've got, you know, some skin issues and chubby thighs, even though they're strong, but that's what I was doing on the thing last night. I'm like, I'm going to be doing a lot of this. So I got to make sure I can keep up with all the walking and the humidity. I don't know, you guys. Flexies.
And do not tell me what the weather is going to be like next week. I don't want to know.
Let's find out. Can we take a thermometer to find out exactly how hot that tunnel is? Please, God, change that policy.
I asked for fans. I was like, please put fans back there this year. It was so bad. And
horrible. Yeah, those smiles were all fake walking out there.
I'm like, oh my God, just get us off the stage. Just for enough. Like, you want to be on the stage, you want to be off.
No, we're like, oh my God, we're out of the tunnel. Those are the big smiles, not our ranks. We're just like, oh my gosh, it's not 300 degrees in the oven.
Those of you going on stage next week, good luck.
I have a question for you. Do you have to line up in the tunnels for Elite and Premier, or you just go from your seating area?
We were lined up for hours, it seemed like last year.
In the tunnel for Elite and Premier?
That's why I made friends. That's why where's where we make more friends, because you meet, like, my last name's Weiss, so I met, like, all the W's. We were back there. I mean, you don't get to watch the show. You're back there, and it's not a big deal. You just back there. And I was like, and then they finally realized, oh, we should give them water. So they brought out waters. And then it'd be like, we have to go to the bathroom. Well, you're going to go on the stage. Well, we really have to go to the bathroom. And, like, there was that. And then it was, are there any fans back here? Like, so hot.
Oh, my gosh. I was in the tunnel for the you know, when they announce your ranks and stuff. And then I found out my husband, I don't know if you guys saw it last year, was the one that was working out at Super Saturday in the scooter, in the motorized scooter. So, and I'm hearing he's all over the screen. They're showing him, like, punching in a motorized scooter. And I'm like, I missed that. Didn't see it. Anyways.
Oh, yeah. I think I did see that. Was that at Nashville or the
Nashville.
Vegas?
It was images of Vegas.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, but shown at Nashville.
Yeah, you guys, if you're going to Nashville, get a portable hand fan. That is literally how I survived the night. We had bought some portable fan things, and I was literally fanning everyone sitting with us down there that night. It was hot, and that's why it starts at 8 o'clock, because the sun will be down, so it won't be as bad, but it'll be hot.
Yeah, because
we're inside.
Nearly 100 thunderstorms, 60% humidity.
Well, thunderstorms will change everything. If it's raining,
I don't know. I just can't wait to see what this is going to look like on top. It's just probably going to be like, it'll look like this. I'll go on stage like this.
I'm just going to go like this. So.
Anyways, you guys. I just go for a slick back look. That'd be good.
Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Tulin, for hanging out with us for an hour and a half this morning.
Oh, you're welcome. Gosh, this is the least I can do with all Lindsay is just inspiring me with and helping me with, and I'm so grateful. And you guys are so lucky. I'm very grateful for my coach too, but I mean, hello. And I'm just excited that I get to teach them. So thanks for having me here. Go take action, you guys. Legit. Who's getting a diamond? I'll go in a diamond, right? Just go do it.
Yeah, diamond, 2-star, 5-star. Let's go.
2-star Premier at the least. Go get that bonus. You deserve it.
Right.
You're all worth it. You're all worth fighting for.
You're all worth fighting for.
You're all worth fighting for. You're worth fighting for. That I should have given away a car. You get a car. You get a car. You all get a car. It was such an Oprah moment, and I was all like emotional about it, and so I'm so embarrassed. You gotta come watch my stuff on my page. I'm like, whatever, but it's on somebody else's page. I'm like, what? Bye, guys.